and welcome to this new episode of SMP the Miniseries. This is the second episode, and as you might be able to see, my area has changed a lot. So, in the past couple of weeks since I recorded the first episode, it took me a week to edit the first episode to let you know sort of the timeline, and it's been 2 weeks since that episode came out at the time I'm recording this episode, meaning it's been quite a few weeks since the first episode, so as you can see, a lot's changed. So over here is where my starter base is going to be, and you can see coppers everywhere, and so I downloaded some mods that I generally use, and so one of my favorites that I'm currently using for this build is called Lightmatica, and it's a schematics mod. Has pretty simple hotkeys and a pretty simple sort of way to use it. So I'm going to load in my schematic, and see, this is what it's going to look like. And as you can see up here, there's copper. Now, this wouldn't generally be a problem just because copper is such an easy resource to get. And of course, you see I have copper everywhere now. Some oxidizing, actually, in the area. But that's not necessarily the problem. The problem is how much of it needs to oxidize, and it needs to all be waxed. Now, there are a couple pieces that are fully oxidized, and you can sort of see them here. They're stairs. And that allows me to open chests here, and there are some signs too. But so mainly the stairs. And the good thing about this is you can actually kind of go into the schematic and look around. So these are some fully oxidized stairs just for interior decoration. And then we have the roof, which is not fully oxidized, but weathered. Simply weathered. So I've only had the opportunity to get 7 wax. So, not 7, 17 wax so far during all of this. For the past 3 weeks, what I've mainly done is, I really should deload this schematic. Unload the schematic. But anyways, you can sort of see here how I've been oxidizing it here. And you can see in my inventory I had that cut copper just waiting. Because it's all cut copper. And the main reason for that was because it's really, really easy to get a bunch of cut copper. You don't need to get, like, the exact amount of full copper blocks. Cut copper, it gives you 4 when you're using the stone cutter for each copper block. So, I don't believe I have any copper block. Oh, I have one here, see? So if I put this in, and I click cut copper, it gives me 4 cut copper. And so I have about 4 stacks of copper currently. These and that. I'm waiting for this one to fully oxidize so that everything can shift into its correct positions, because I was originally waiting for the full oxidized ones, which are these stairs. And then, of course, I sort of got impatient and decided to place the rest of it while it was oxidizing, and I put signs on top. And as you can see, they're jungle wood signs, because I did decide to make my base out of jungle wood. So for the longest time, I didn't know where a jungle biome was until I decided to locate it. So of course, you can only sort of see this island over here, which actually we're going to visit shortly because it has something very crucial and important to my entire operation I'm running here. And it's called a beehive. I have another beehive that I will go to, but it's like in the middle of a different forest. This one is the easiest one to get to, and as you can see, I have some flowers around, and the bees do it, and that's how I've gotten my most recent things. But you can also see over here, there's a tiny jungle biome. And so I did cut down some jungle trees over here, because I need jungle wood, as you might have seen. I need stripped jungle logs for my base. And I actually got all the wood I needed, and I had extra, which is what the signs were made out of. And those were extra signs from the jungle signs I'm needing inside my base. So you can see there's a tiny little jungle biome around here. I haven't really ventured too deep into it. I've just gone on to the outskirts and found some pretty good trees to cut down. And as you might have seen, I got full iron armor, full iron tools. I still have a stone hoe. It's a different stone hoe than my one in the first episode. Because I had to make a new one after my big farm, which you might have seen back there too. Had to make a new one, of course. And you probably didn't see a couple of other things that Starlight has actually done to connect up our bases, and she set up her own little tent there too. So, and the fun part about where I live actually is I have a bunch of biomes surrounding me. So there's probably most of that island's probably a jungle. But if you go a little bit back from the jungle, if you go in a couple different directions, there are a couple of different things you can find. So, I know in one direction there's like a little opening to a swamp biome. Over there is some nice dripstone area. Honey yet? No. I call this my honey island, just for me to refer to it, because it's where I get all my honey, and where I'm planning to move my beehives once I have Silk Touch, which I actually have been working on. So you can see that white thing up there, that's Starlight's tent. I had to move it because it was in the way of my starter base area, but it's up on the top of the hill now. I have my big area of cows, and so I have made a lot of progress since the last episode. And so there used to be a big wall of copper here. I used to have 3 walls of copper, actually. So this is the iron that came from the biggest wall, which used to be right here, and a tinier wall that used to be standing up here. But I took them both down and decided to spread out the copper because it was taking too long to oxidize in a wall. I eventually got fed up and decided to just take those down, but since that one was progressing so nicely, I decided to just leave it be for now. When needed, I will move it down and I will have it finish oxidizing down here. But for right now, I don't really need that. And as you can see, I got way too much copper after I got all the copper I needed. So, all my chests are sort of still like chest monsters. I didn't make a bunch of progress. You can see here that this one's pretty much like the most organized compared to another one that I have hidden just because it's not real. It's just a precaution just in case. I have my diamonds and some lapis in here. It's mainly so Starlight doesn't just steal my diamonds from there. And panes, and they're down here, and it's pretty much just a separator. So you see, when I can shift click things in here. So I have my doors, my signs, my logs, my acacia logs, my acacia planks. So of course, over the past few weeks, a lot of stuff has happened, which I just sort of went over. I explored the cave over here a bit, which in the first episode, I think you might have seen me do a bit. I mainly explored in it mostly after the first episode. Yeah. I did a lot of stuff with my base after the first episode, and that's just mainly because I didn't have a lot of time to record, and I had time to just sort of do some maintenance stuff around here. So, if you come down here, you'll see a bunch of torches probably, because I made a ton of torches while exploring here. So, as you can see, there are probably a bunch of creeper holes still. Yeah, so everywhere I explore, I put like a little torch just to light it up a bit. Yeah. There's a lot of dripstone here, which I personally don't like, because if I make one false move, I will die. I got some obsidian from here, obviously, for my enchanting table. And I explored more over in this area. I didn't exactly go vertically, but I went horizontally and pretty much covered most of the bottom area. Now the main stuff Starlight's done is over here. And I actually got fined because I talked about how, quote, delicious steak was on her land, and she's gone vegetarian this season, so yeah, that's fun. So here's her tent. I moved it for future purposes, and then I put the outline there so she knew not to build there. And of course, we walk towards this direction, and she's made a long path, and it used to be just a track of like blocks going through, but it isn't now. She made like a full-on path and everything, and there's a bee there, and where's that? There's a hive here. Okay, I need to remember that. I need to remember that just so I don't have to go so far each time. Because I need a lot of waxed copper, which means a lot of honeycomb, which means I'm probably going to have to make some sort of bee farm, which I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do about yet, but yeah, so Starlight has that. She gives us boats, and we climb in and we go across, and then you see the path continues there, and this leads to her house. Like, she probably worked maybe an hour or two or more on this path, and I generally leave my boat here when I come out, just so that it's easier to get across. So when I come back, the low corner of Starlight's property, that the entrance is pretty much in. You see that's the majority of the rest of her line of her property, and I'm pretty sure this is where she keeps her horses, I'm guessing. But anyways, you can see longer lines down there. So her property is probably going to take like 10 maps to map out, but yeah. And I'm going to sleep over here, and my travel bed's at home. There's one right level of oxidation block. So you see I interchange all of these, and like some oxidize faster than others, or others oxidize slower than others, but they all eventually get turned out. And this one I'm worried might be waxed at this point. It's not waxed. Well, I'm gonna move this over here and a decent ways away from all other copper, and full oxidize. And that's a message for myself. So as you can see, I started out with a little wheat farm that actually just consisted of this sort of little corner over here. And then it eventually spread out further this way, and it made it to this level of a wheat field. Okay. I think all of the babies have been made, and I'm just coming in here to collect the experience. So I'm pretty sure it's another 5 minutes I have to wait until I can breed them again. And I keep my boat here and active. Sorry if my nose is sounding stuffy, my allergies are acting up. But so if we go in here and go into my schematics, it's half a stack of stone, which I don't know how got there. I don't know where that goes, but I will get that half stack. 12 furnaces. Okay. And 166 deep slate tiles. So 2 stacks and 38 pieces. 2 stacks. I literally am 1 piece short of deep slate. So I'm gonna put that there. And then I'm going to toss all this in the other chest. It's like, I'm honestly surprised by this. And also my mine's down there where I ended the episode last time. I've improved my staircase very much because Starlight was yelling at me about it. And it is now multiple blocks high. And I can either break this block right here. There we go. We have enough now. I have a ton of shards of amethyst as well. You can see, so I'm pretty sure oh, this, a spyglass. I need 2 copper ingots. So let's get that, and then nice, I got spyglass. Cool. Okay. So yes! It fully oxidized. Now we have all the fully oxidized copper we need. And then here are all the extra jungle signs in here. So that's good. Oh, this is fully oxidized now. Great. And yes, there's honey. But I think with any bee farm, I'm really gonna need Silk Touch to do it. So that's my main priority right now, getting Silk Touch and enough wax. I got on and said she'll be back in like 10 minutes. She's still online now, but she's gonna leave soon probably. Yeah. So let's get back to gathering materials. So while like that conversation was happening, I got a bit of materials here. I got some deep slate tiles, my furnaces, and I'm smelting up the stone right now. And so we're going to ignore those. Ignore the deep slate tiles. I know about the copper, acacia planks. Stone, we're doing that. Dirt path, we don't really need to worry about that. We need 9 lanterns. Let's work on 9 lanterns, 2 crafting tables, and 2 spruce trapdoors. So I also need 9 iron ingots to do this. Oof, that was 10. Okay. Well, I will put one up in my tent. And I will take down this lantern right here. See? Such a nice little addition. Now we have 9 lanterns. And then we need 2 crafting tables and 2 spruce trapdoors. So the crafting tables are pretty simple, of course. There's the spruce planks. Chests, we're gonna need those. You see, I'm using jungle planks right now. No. You see, I hate it when I use... Okay. Okay. Oh wait, we have enough chests. So. Now all we need is a black bed, a blast furnace, and a cartography table. So. The black bed is pretty easy. If you know where to look. So there we go. And then I just need one ink sac. And then I saw the corner of my eye that up here we have a finished oxidation block. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna place some more cut copper ahead up here. Now, of course, we're gonna make the white bed, black dye, black bed. It's a lot easier to do it this way than most other ways. Cartography table is also a pretty simple thing you can do. It's pretty much 4 planks and 2 pieces of paper, which I luckily have ready at the table. Ready at the go. So okay, blast furnace, loom smoker. Okay. Oh, she's AFKing. Oh, great. That's just great. So now we will get to know how lighted up my area actually is. So I'm going to extend my reaches further. Wonderful. You actually need string for the loom, so that actually turned out pretty well. Take out some more cobblestone and see exactly what we need for the blast furnace and the smoker. Blast furnace. Smoker. I need 3 logs around it. Okay. Oh wait, it was 4. And then what's the blast furnace? Blast furnace. How do you craft a blast furnace? Wait one moment. I'm just gonna type that in so Starlight knows what happened. But pretty much we're gonna need, I don't know how I'm just gonna put that much there. And I'm pretty much sure that I need stone too. So. Those 3 are going to be smelted. And there's a creeper that we're going to avoid. So sorry about the crash, of course. I can't control those things, but I like to try and have them happen. Not as often, but nobody can really control that. Full point. Now, of course, with Starlight being AFK, the nights get a little bit annoying at times. And it trampled on my poor crops. I need to Google this again. Crossing Island, if you have been following us for that long a time, since 2020. If you have been watching me or Starlight's channel since 2020, me and Starlight still have our Animal Crossing Islands up and going. I actually have over 2 million bells in my bank account, and around 1 million is going to be drained from that tomorrow because I got my basement loan for my house, so I'm going to be using it on that mainly. Yeah. Our islands have both grown exponentially over the past couple of years. Okay. Now we have almost everything, I'm pretty sure. Now all that's left is going to be the copper. And when building this, it was such a pain when one piece wasn't right, or so that's why I'm waxing it all ahead of time, which is why it's probably going to take me a bit before I actually start building this starter base. So, my recording session today has probably gone far too long. But let's finish up what we were planning to do today. So first of all, ignore all the stuff we already have or don't need. Glowstone, smoker, stone cutter. So all we have left is these. So the copper I can handle. I have 1 piece of glowstone needed, but 1 loom is pretty much all the rest I can get today. So, a loom. Oh, and I can make it right here. Because it isn't as expensive as I thought it would be. Okay. Well, as you saw, we got today's task done, and I know it was kind of a dull episode. Oops. I forgot. Oops. Today was kind of a dull episode, but that's how it goes sometimes. And I will see you guys in the next episode. If you like this episode, please subscribe and hit the like button down below. If you have any suggestions about what a bigger base should be for this mini-series, or just something I could do to help improve how I get my honeycomb, or anything else, you can comment down below if you would like. Have a great day, and